Country music has had its share of tragedy, but few stories hit as hard as Keith Whitley, a man with one of the greatest voices Nashville ever heard, who didn't live long enough to see just how big he was about to become. Keith Whitley was born July 1st, 1954, in Ashland, Kentucky, and raised in the small Appalachian town of Sandy Hook. Like a lot of kids in that part of the country, he grew up surrounded by bluegrass music. But Keith wasn't just another kid picking guitar. He had a voice that sounded decades older than he was. When Keith was just 15 years old, bluegrass legend Ralph Stanley heard him sing and immediately knew he had something special. Whitley joined Stanley's band, the Clinch Mountain Boys, where he performed alongside another future country star, Ricky Skaggs. Night after night, they played mountain music across the country. But life on the road also introduced Keith to something else: heavy drinking. In the late 1970s, Keith moved to Nashville hoping to make it in country music. But success didn't come quickly. For years, he struggled to find his place in an industry chasing slick pop country sounds. His traditional voice didn't quite fit the trends. Until suddenly, it did. In 1988, everything changed. His album Don't Close Your Eyes produced 3 #1 country hits: When You Say Nothing at All, I'm No Stranger to the Rain, and Don't Close Your Eyes. Keith Whitley had arrived. His voice was emotional, vulnerable, and heartbreakingly real. Fans didn't just hear the songs, they felt them. Around this time, Keith married country singer Lori Morgan. They had a son together and seemed like one of Nashville's rising power couples. But behind the scenes, Keith was still battling the same demon he'd struggled with since his teenage years: alcohol. On May 9, 1989, at just 34 years old, Keith Whitley died at his home near Nashville from acute alcohol poisoning, just as his career was reaching its peak. Country music lost one of its greatest voices. After his death, more of Keith's songs became hits, including I'm Over You and It Ain't Nothin'. Decades later, artists like Alan Jackson and Chris Young still cite him as a major influence. And in 2022, Keith Whitley was finally inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame, a voice that could break your heart, and a reminder that sometimes the greatest legends don't stay long. Who should we talk about next? Let us know in the comments.